start off with buying one, and I'll probably use this dodgy one to do my face, and have like little pictures and text and icons and links and animations and all sorts of fun shit like that. I thought it would just automatically happen. Just streaming by itself is tricky enough. I assume it is something that will take time to build up and work towards. A lot of these people been probably streaming for a long time. My friend says there are tons of people that stream modeling and Gunpla that don't really have much of a presence on YouTube. I still think I'd much rather be on YouTube than streaming, because streaming is a fleeting thing. It's what's on at the moment that's popular and everyone's watching. Some highlights do go out here and there unless you're immortalized in a meme, and then you're forgotten within hours to days. On YouTube, if you do tutorials, you build a following base and whatnot, they're happy to wait days to a week until you release content, and it's quite a strong relationship when you do it for many, many years. Twitch is a new thing, and even though people have been doing it for 1 or 2 years, I would like to see what a relationship looks like when a Twitch streamer has survived for about 5+ years and still retain a relationship with their audience. And the interesting thing about building an audience and stuff like this, I must admit, been jealous and whatnot. The Mokana Man has been a very, very slow process, though it is up to a very respectable and standard figure. I've seen a lot of channels really speed up and overtake me quickly, but as quickly as they're born and started up, they've also collapsed into nothingness. And more than 8 years later, Mokana Man is still in existence, boasting 500 videos, and we're going to be in business for many, many years to come. Now with streaming, I assume it's going to be a very, very similar process. It's going to be a very, very slow audience build, but it's not going to be a quick demise. As it's been a slow growth, it will be a slow demise when the demise sits in, but things will fairly remain immortalized on YouTube. I'd like the resources to be there to help people for as long as it is. Now, I'm starting to sound like an egomaniac douchebag. Me, audience popularity, blah, 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 blah. Fuck off, Alan. Should talk about other things, though. With the amount of hours and how many years, or hours a week, and how many years I've spent on YouTube, it's sort of a big part of my life. And sort of like, today is editing day. I'll spend an hour or so editing. I need to upload Sunday night, so the video can be available Monday noon for people to watch, even though I'm at work by then. And every day check the comments, answer any questions people have. It's a fun process. It's something that it's as natural as waking up morning wood and having a pull because you are horny, as checking comments and uploading and editing videos. As weird as that may sound, it's perfectly normal and natural. I do fap, but I think everyone already knows that. So shit's laid down. I think I'm about almost halfway there of everything scrubbed and clean. This has almost been a 2-hour process, but I've been pretty faithful to it. I want to see if I could start getting to nub removal. That could be a lot of fun. Maybe a little bit of wet sanding. Start processing a few pieces. When this project is done, and I think the most challenging bit is building this is not a challenge. I've done stuff like this before, but sort of transmitting it via a stream, focusing on that and still doing enough record keeping for YouTube. The painting stage. Laptop is set up here. I've got the camera on me. It's all good. I can see the comments. If anyone's obliged to come in for a fucking chat. And then I have to reposition my laptop so I can see it, so the camera is facing my painting area, so I can have a look, I can talk, I can paint. And if anyone's actually interested in a stream of airbrushing, but we will see, It's very, very exciting times, because what I've noticed from a lot of streams I've seen, it's just been assembling and snapping. And it's only because I've been researching for a short period of time. I haven't seen anyone stream airbrushing, or there was a guy hand painting some wargaming miniatures, but I haven't seen anything where someone sat there and airbrushed, or sat there and rattle canned, or sat there and scratch built or sculpted yet. I did see a guy sculpting in clay, but I assume these sort of streams are a lot more rare and niche, and there's definitely a chance to introduce that to Twitch and all that. But it just feels absolutely insane that there's literally hundreds of thousands of people on this site, Twitch, and they're all streaming at the same time, fighting for a large chunk of audience. And they're all sitting at their rig right now, playing their video game or doing whatever they're doing, talking, and people are interacting, and being a part of that is fairly humbling, especially being at the bottom of the heap. So, I love it. I mentioned in the other stream, when I cleaned the other hand, these gauntlets are just sick. The interesting thing of this anime figure is the armor is mostly Japanese inspired or themed. It does seem pretty accurate in what samurai armor is like, but there's just a couple of Western influences to it that I've never seen on historical examples of Japanese armor, especially these gauntlets. Instead of being plate covers over the fingers, we've got this almost Germanic, Gothic individual articulated fingers, which from my experience of wearing armor and LARPing, they're not the best sort of gauntlets to have, but if you have very, very expensive, nicely articulated, realistic ones, they're pretty cool. The little knuckles and whatnot have a tendency of popping off. Mittens are the way to go. I think the mittens look the coolest. At first they're a bit hard to fight in, but once you learn how to fight in them, they're good fun. And fuck, do they protect your fingers from blows and shit. Like, I'd much rather have just 3 bands of articulated plate against a piece of wood, metal, lath, foam sword, than just to have individual knuckle bits between a sandwich of thin ass pliver. But we digress. We change topics. We talk shit. We move on to different things. LARP is one of my hobbies. It's not exactly... It can be very United States, South Parky, lightning bolt, but there are quite a few really cool people that come from all sorts of martial arts and fighting styles and SCA and reenactors circles and whatnot, looking for a larger, more fun, laid-back community, but more so, just the grand scale of having hundreds and hundreds of people on the fields to interact in, roving armies and stuff. So silliness is a big part, but there's enough people taking it seriously where it can be fun in either a historical or fantasy setting. Sometimes when you're doing the serious Iron Age reenacting or role-playing or whatnot, there's only very few people that are interested in, taking it that far for that small of a community or something. During the winter, due to issues and other problems, work schedules and money, I haven't gone, but I'm very excited to going back this summer and recommitting myself to the LARP group that I'm a part of and having fun with them. Still cleaning the resin, removing release agent. Just have to be just so careful with it, because even though the priming stage is just going to be a test piece, I seriously don't want to see fisheye or primer running off, because that's just time wasted and effort wasted. I'll put primer on and it's perfect and it's ready for spray painting. I'm going to be super, super, super happy. Shown in various streams, and I'll show in this one. We've got a Gundam ship. and it is in a bath of bleach gel. Now what's happened to this project is I did a half-assed job cleaning it at a live workshop, a Mecha Workshop event. Last stream I explained what Mecha Workshop is all about. It's a club that I'm a member and president of. I've been around with for a very long time. We have live meetings where we build kits and help each other out and just have a good time. It's an in real life social circle. So I bought this off E2046, a Gundam ship. With shipping, it turned out to be under $20, and it was something that E2046 credit money could actually be paid for. So virtually, I almost got it for nothing. It arrived at home. It was a B club job. Assembled it, cleaned it up, but pretty much it was built, cleaned up, assembled in a day, and at the end of the day I thought, oh, I could chuck on a cheeky coat of primer. Threw the primer on, fish eyes appeared immediately. It was automotive primer, extra hard to clean off, unlike just normal Tamiya lacquer primer. And I'm like, oh no, fuck. So I left it, let it harden, dry, and now she's in a bleach bath and actually dunking automotive primer and bleach for the first time. It's very slow to remove. It's something that doesn't quite react in 24 hours. I might need a few days, but if I get most of it off and get a bit of a sanding, as long as the release agent's been completely stripped and in solid bleach, I assume will do so as the primer is starting to melt off, it will be fine. I'll hit it with a second coat of primer. Another experiment was using automotive primer out of a rattle can. It etched beautifully well to the primer. I dropped a piece. Because some primers like resin, some primers don't, and especially since I didn't do a crash hard job of cleaning it, I was very happy at how it has reacted. So I know to do this for really rough resin projects, not nice, beautifully detailed resin projects. This kit, if I do the cleanup well enough and there's no putty work, I'm probably going to hit it with Mr. Surfacer 1500 and get straight into painting. If there needs to be further work, probably Mr. Surfacer 1000 for some of the sanding and other areas. We'll need to have micro filler applied on that stuff. Quick snap. I'm also using bog putty now on my models. That's resin based, and that just adheres beautifully for resin. It's just a bit tricky to work with, so if there's anything that requires like that, I'll probably just use bog putty. It's pinky colour, sticks on, sands off. Wet sand, of course, and it just dries insanely fast. I mean, we're talking about 20 minutes and you can start sanding if it's just only a mil or 2 mil thick. And that is pretty cool. It's also thinnable in lacquer thinner. Reacts very well in lacquer thinner, and it goes into a nice thin, almost paint-like consistency. And it can be brushed on. Can't say no to that. And if it's pretty much down to paint consistency, it can be cleaned out in thinner, so if you use a paintbrush, it will not damage your paintbrush. So, chat, she'd be quiet. That's not a big iffy. Again, things will be a bit tight until we can get that chat flowing, numbers flowing, something going. Shit, I gotta say, it's really hard just to, pick up a single viewer or two. I haven't even had people come past and just had a bit of a look, a bit of a peek. What I might do is turn on the tablet and see if we're actually streaming or if we're actually live. And I think the most important thing is, here we go, really, turn. So it looks like we're live. It's connecting. It still says live. It still says it's got the picture of me and all the parts and whatnot. Except I've got a lot more parts there than there is in this video. And oh, there we go. All the parts have appeared. We're missing a couple of parts. So the delay must be crazy long, but that's probably because it's my tablet, not so much the real delay or anything. But I'm just very curious to see if there's any lag or disturbance or anything funny like that. From what I've seen on my dashboard and whatnot, says the stream quality's good, the internet quality's good. So I got a good fucking internet. It's just my hardware sucks donkey balls, and it's something that will be upgraded eventually over time. But for now, it goes down to budget and what one can afford. So I'm not trying to do a quality stream for a high-powered video game. I'm trying to do a quality stream in demonstrating, creative aspect. Building of model kits. And diluting the release agent, piece by piece, item by item. So the finished result is going to be very, very, very worthwhile. I was looking also other sort of things that people do on Twitch. I did have the cheeky idea of doing a Twitch stream of an unintended 3D printer just printing away. They said that's not on. I suppose some other cheeky cunts have attempted that. That's what my biggest concern is, not so much that though, it's just not exciting viewership. Who wants to watch a 3D printer just print? I don't want to do that. And generally my goal with Mokana Man is to make content that I would personally sit down and watch if someone else makes it, so that just violates my general rule. I think people are making a fuss, a noise, being a pain in the ass outside, so who knows? Who knows? I will just keep running with this stream until my throat gets fucked, or I should go get a beverage or something. I will have to leave this unattended for about 2 minutes very, very shortly to piss, get some sort of drink in me. I think I fancy a rum and coke. Not too sure. Drinking and modelling is no good. Having a buzz, or just, the state before tipsy, that's pretty good. But going beyond then modelling, not fun at all. And I was just talking about another club that I won't name names, but they sort of go to a venue, drink a shit ton of red wine, and they intend to model, but they just sit around and talk shit and do nothing, and they end up not modeling because they take the whole modeling stuff pretty seriously and whatnot. So you won't get much in the way of drunken modeling, but tipsy modeling, that could be a thing. See how we go. I will eventually, when my main rig is up and running, I suppose I should do a YouTube ad advertising this. Open it up for the rest of the audience, see if you guys are into it or not. Maybe I might have to remove the adult warning and do some PG rated ones, because I think if you go on Twitch and you go like, I want to watch this stream, it won't let you because it's adults orientated or some crap like that. Interestingly enough, I've got some interesting ideas in running the stream. I mean, like, there'll be times that I need to go in another room to get there'll be times I need to go in another room and get some supplies, go to the toilet, drink, whatever. I want to have like a window, so I can have a window with my face on it and a window for my feed. So I'm thinking a window that will like play ads and shit. And when I mean ads, just like the pre-recorded me talking about you know, my channel and stream and be like, on Tuesdays we'll do this, and Wednesdays we'll do this, and check out this blog for this cool shit, and this blog for this cool shit, and just have it playing in a loop, film it for about an hour, and just 2 minutes here, 2 minutes there, and that way when people are waiting for my fat ass to come back, there's something. And maybe a picture that will appear on screen that says, you know, I'll be back, type of thing. Transition. I really need to learn this OBS stuff. Pretty cool panel. Very, very easy to use. I mean, I'm not very good with some of this stuff, even though I'm an entertainment technician. AV isn't my strongest suit. I barely get past, but better than a complete amateur. So with one tutorial and a few minutes playing, I pretty much figured it out straight away. So that's very, very good and very good prospect of, you know, other people that are, you know, not so skilled in this sort of thing, just jumping on and having an attempt. Anyway, I feel my throat being a little like that, a bit dry, a bit cranky. I think it is time for a beverage. I will dry this off. I will go find my hipster jam jar and chuck some rum and coke in it, and that is going to be good. I'll be back. Couldn't find my coconut rum, so there's only, oh, there's a lot of amazing rums. One of the best rums to get into, I want to be a good rum drinker. There's a lot of garbage rum out there. Is Sailor Jerry. It's spiced, it's a bit sweet, sort of almost like an orangey palate to it. But she's very, very palatable. The interesting thing is the different ways you mix it and utilize it, different flavors come out. Straight, yeah, it's going to fuck your ass. When you add just a pinch of water or a couple of ice cubes and you let it sit for a few minutes, then it starts bringing out some insanely smooth and sweet notes. And then when you water it down further, it tastes even completely different. It's just a very, very complex, interesting drink for its fairly cheap price. And it's a United States gig. You can almost find it anywhere. It's becoming slowly more and more popular. Don't go for the house rum. Go for Sailor Jerry. It's one of my favourite spiced rums. You know, fuck Captain Morgan and Bundaberg and any of that other Bacardi, any of that other garbage. Another one's Kraken. Kraken is a job that you drink straight. It's got like a slight pepper notes to it, but it also has banana taste, very sweet banana taste. Same thing, pinch of water, drink it like a scotch or a little bit of ice. Get like one of those molds where you can make big ice balls and chuck that in because it melts ever so insanely slowly. And you're going to have a really, really good drinking experience. And obviously drinking moderately and all that. The odd blowout's not a problem. Operation of machinery, wandering around by yourself, driving that, fuck no. Don't do that. Fucked. Stupid. But, you definitely have good fun on piss. And I always have good fun on piss. Shouldn't drink alone. Be your company. Though, no more than 2 standard drinks. It's good for the blood and stuff. But, you know, you don't go too far. Problem with a lot of cheaper alcohols, they've got like a ton of sugar in it. When they're very sharp and disgusting, to just mellow it out, they just sweeten the fuck out of it. It's not good. Like, there's like sugar like you get in Coke or lollies or chocolate or whatever. And then there's sugar what they put in alcohol. And it's just insanely high. It's absolutely fucked in some ciders and a lot of spirits and shit. The really good spirits, oh, fuck all sugar in it. They rely off pure taste. And if they are sweet-ish, or on the sweet side, it's because they're naturally sweetened with fruits and other crap. Not with fucking bullshit sugar. And you'll get a lot more out of your drink and trying out your palate than you would with just bullshit fucking sweetened, disgusting Smirnoff or anything on that note. These streams, I suppose, we could talk about alcohol. We could talk about tobacco. I'm a very, very fond smoker. I've actually got a shisha rig, which I'm actually hitting me across the head for not setting it up earlier. I could be, you know, blowing smoke and modelling on stream, and that would have done my throat a world of good. And I'm actually quite serious about that. It's smoking's quite soothing. Tobacco pipes, I've got some really good shag from Germany. It fucking hits hard, but it's got a nice smell and a decent taste. And I've got some lovely Polish-made long pipes, church wardens and shit like that, Kaisers, which looks amazing in a lap, but it's just fun to smoke casually, so you know you don't look like a retard in public. I've got a corncob pipe, nice one. I think it's from Missouri or fucking corn country, wherever that is in the United States, California, fuck, I don't know. Where the fuck you guys grow corn, and it's, well, California doesn't make sense. That's like, I'm not even going to pretend to know where that is. I've got like a rough idea which coast and which direction, but the American viewers will fucking absolutely slaughter me for getting it wrong, and I don't want to get it wrong and seem ignorant. I try to know where the major states in the states are, and I've got a rough idea. I can picture it in my head. It's just pinpointing exactly where they are, what the capital cities, all that. That's a bit of a struggle, but I've never been to the States, and you know, knowing about that, knowing about Southeast Asia, Middle East, Africa, South America, Europe, Eastern Europe, Asia, it just gets a bit hard to know where the nitty-gritty is. Like, if you tell me, like, name 10 provinces in China, I might get 3, and then I'm fucked, and I've actually visited China. Though that place got a lot of, it's pretty much like Europe. It's big place. It's got a lot of countries. It's got a lot going for it. It's crazy good. Quite crazy good. So, got the gauntlet again. I keep talking about the gauntlet every time I fish it out. The cleaner. It's so cool. It's got that lovely gothic look to it. Fuck. I mixed that rum strong. Excellent. Good sipping shit. So another terrible thing of just getting cheap alcohol and mixing it with Coke, even though alcohol's got insane alcohol taxes in Australia. What offends me more is like not so much the waste of alcohol, but when you mix, you get good Coke. The Coke's got a lot of sugar. I try not to drink Coke too much, so I want to drink it and enjoy it. You get like a shit alcohol and you mix it with Coke, and that's full of sugar, and the shit alcohol's full of sugar. So you're consuming an insane amount of calories, and it's just all round shit. It doesn't taste good. You have to go through a ton of that to get drunk. Just do tequila shots. Like fuck. And don't ruin by putting shit in your body to drink shit alcohol. Like I'm all about being a fat cunt and eating whatever you want and all that. But don't eat crap that you don't like just so you can get a result. You know, I want to get drunk, so I'm going to drink this disgusting alcohol. It's like, mate, the sugar, the this, the that. How do you think a lot of people get diabetes? I know it's diabetes. I just find the diabetes thing from the States really funny. I got diabetes. I tried to do, you know, no sugar days and shit like that. Sugar is a killer. So is cooking with vegetable oil. But, you know, trying to do some natural and healthy shit and whatnot. 2 months a year I go full ball vegetarian and whatnot. And somehow, you know, a little exercise, a lot of walking and whatnot, shit just happens. So I'm not one of these fuckwits that are running around playing Pokemon Go, passing that off as exercise. Oh, I walked fucking 20 kilometers this weekend. I'm a fucking champion. A few months later, it's just, you know, from here to the bus stop or to the milk bar and that's it and whatnot. People aren't walking as far as they used to. But they're still shit cunts. And they're still doing stupid shit playing that video game. They're all over the place. So I think the hype is finally starting to die down. I don't have a mobile phone worth shit, so I'm not playing it, but just, nah. Much rather the handheld games. They're quite fun. I remember, you know, Yellow, Silver. I can't remember the last one I played, but it was really good that everyone was playing a few years ago. And then the one after that kind of sucked. And I think the one upcoming is good, but I don't know if I can be fucked. Don't know if I can get into it. Well, we'll find out. I've got too much shit to do. Not enough time. I'm streaming now, so we got to focus on that. But fuck, I wish there's people in the chat. You could just react off that. Someone's telling me, like, even if you're in a room and you're by yourself, you got to keep going and going and going. And I've got a lot of steam, but it's sort of like, give me a segue, give me something, give me points. Play a theatre game, space jump. I'm a fucking Matt Damon on Mars pretending to suck dick or something. I don't know, whatever. What fucking ever. Sucking dick. I'd suck dick if the dick is attached to something that's like sexy enough for me to go, whoo, bang. I'll suck dick. But I don't know if that's something I'm allowed to go on about on Twitch and shit, though I can find out. It says don't do nudity, don't go into explicit sexual stuff or explicit gore violence. But I'm pretty sure the terms and conditions had nothing to do or nothing to say that you can't talk about sucking dick. I reckon you can get pretty far in life if you know how to suck dick good. You need to be good looking, you need to be fucking talented, you need to be fucking smart, or you need to know how to suck a really mean good dick. And sometimes you can have everything against you, still suck a mean dick, and no one even wants a bar of you. That's just real bad luck. Now, I don't hold that against anyone. Everyone's got their own challenges and ease and all sorts of shit, and that's just how it is. The problem with sucking dick, obviously, is, your STDs and whatnot and blah blah blah. But in a perfect world, you just suck your dick to the top, and that would be perfectly good. And people be like, Alan, Mokana Man, PHD manchild, what the fuck? Why are you fascinated by dick so much? Stop talking about sucking a dick. Fuck you. Go suck a horse's dick. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I hope there isn't like Twitch mobs or whatever wandering around and going, oh my god, this guy's talking about dick sucking. Gotta ban this cunt. Nah, I enabled adult content, so I should be obliged. I should be celebrated. I should be allowed, in the age of 2016, the year of our Lord, to talk about sucking dick. Good head is good though, when you get that nice, sloppy, slow, deep job. Choice. Need to get off this topic. I've degraded. I can't say I've degraded myself because I can't go any lower than I already am. It's just an illusion of the cleanliness and the good man that I am. But I think when I was with when I was with Ruben from Robot Adventures, and I said in the shitty izakaya, I was shit-faced, like, hey, I know a Japanese term. I said something like, I love this cock or something. I was like, hey man, you can't say that. It's a shitty izakaya, So go jump you and go like, oh, do you? And, I might get what I wish for. And I'd be like, fucking, sweaty Japanese chode? No. I'm back on dick sucking again. Fucking hell. Can't there be some sort of cunt in the chat to be like, oi, no more dick sucking, no more dicks, no more chodes, none of that. But, it is what it is. You guys led me to this. There's no one in the chat. I have to talk about something. I don't have the radio on. I don't have music. I don't want to suffer any of this copyright bullshit. It's a pride of being completely independent. Everything that's on offer is created by hand, by yours truly. Everything here built up from nothing. Get stuck on a topic. And it goes down to, I can play copyrighted music, can have some nice jazz tunes or weird anime shit in the background, or I can talk about sucking dick. I know what I prefer. I don't give a even flying fuck what you guys prefer. So, if we're going independent, we're going in dick sucking territory. We're going in dick sucking territory. I know that for a fact. Oh my god, will my streaming friends, be rolling in their graves today. Alan doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's stuck. He doesn't know, he can't stream. He gets panicked. Fucking rabbit in a headlight and stuck. And they're like, and it's straight on the dick sucking. We can get further than dick sucking. We can talk about fucking, animal genitalia fellatio. We could go into some fucking fairy clopping bullshit. I assume if you guys know what all that sort of stuff is. Trust me, I know this shit. Working in the artist alley and doing workshops and, the many of anime cons I've attended to promote Gundam for Hobbyco, Bandai, all that. Some of the artwork and shit, Pikachu with a dick and fucking My Little Pony characters, fucking each other in the mouth and shit. You see this sort of shit, and it's sort of like, this is the world, man. It's either ISIS, terrorism, war in Iraq, or it's cartoon ponies blowing each other. And I don't know, man. Fucking there's no resentment or anger or anything, man. Like, good on them. If you got a kink, you're proud of it, and you're rolling with it, awesome. And if you know what the repercussions are, if you're going to be a social outcast, and you're going to do it because of your love of pony dick, or ponies on ponies and pony dick, Good on you, man. Roll with it. The Mokana Man is your fucking ally in this. Mokana Man may not be the biggest fan of Pony Dick, but if you're alone and people are persecuting you and they hate you and they're making fun of you at school or work or whatnot because they accidentally saw your phone or you're doing a presentation and some fucking rainbow clock shit goes on the page and you can see some flying Pony Dick. No, standing there, I won't judge you. The Mokana Man is your friend. He does not care if you want to suck a ponychild. That is completely cool with me. I'm just not getting off on one. It would be hilarious if I did. I would own the fuck out of it. It would be fucking hilarious. It would be really funny. And I've just finished this container of resin parts. We are slowly getting there, people. Very, very slowly getting there. Scrubbing and cleaning and getting there, and still no more cunts in the chat room. May go check if we're still live. Got any viewers or anything like that? I'm starting to think in the last one of my streams I had a viewer, and I'm starting to think that it wasn't from my tablet. It could have actually been a viewer, and they were there for a fairly long time. So if that's the case, I'm pretty happy about that. That means that the shit was long enough and interesting enough for someone to stay tuned. And for the second stream, or the first one, I don't even fucking remember. I'm pretty sure it's the second stream. I did advertise it on Facebook on just the Mokana Man and nowhere else. And, you know, about 50 to 100 people saw it. A couple of people might have clicked on it. One person may have watched it. And Jesus Christ, man, that makes it all worthwhile. I'll do this shit for one person. No problems. And if they're a lurker and they're just sitting there and they're just happy to listen to me struggle and just go on like an absolute fucking idiot, that's cool. I'm completely down with that. I think I got like hiccups or something. I might be talking too fast. I'm trying to drink this beautiful, beautiful Sailor Jerry and Coke. Jeez, I should pull the bottle out and show it off and stuff. This is a good night. Could have been podcasts and radio in this, but you know what? I did me talking to myself. It's not too bad. It's fucking weird and self-conscious. I would not have been able to do this many years ago. When I started YouTube, I'd have to get the confidence up and everything and sit down and go, okay, I can do this. I can start. Sit down, arm myself up, and go, right, I'm going to do this 10-minute video, and then sit there and go, hello, this is Alan from the Mokana Man with another modelling video. Ha, that rolled off the tongue. And we're going to talk about, you know, bootlegs or weathering or painting or my backlog or some cringy as fuck video for my first 10-20 videos, which I'd stab myself in the face if I had to rewatch. Check out on the spaceship. This is looking good. Give her a quick flush. And the primer is still a very, very, very slow process of coming off of our spaceship. I don't even need most of the primer to come off. I just need to get enough of it off to know that I just need to get enough of it off to know that those spider eyes are going to be absolutely clean. That my hands smell of semen. That I know that I know when I reprime it, it's going to be all good. I think after tonight I'm going to probably leave it in one of these containers of just detergent and shit and just let it soak. And then dry her off sufficiently, 1000 grit sanding, and then we'll hit it with some Mr. Surface 1000 to give it a uniform finish, and she can start getting airbrushed. Fuck yeah. This needs to be a bit sanded. There's a few imperfections on the side there. The join's got some weird super glue shit. I might hit that with a bit of putty. Might do that now. Might do that fucking now. Yeah. We shall do it now. Random shit. My ass is up. Blade putty ahoy. Beautiful half-litre giant container. No, 350 gram container. Oh, that smell. Haven't opened this since pre-Gunpla Builders World Cup. Smash some putty down. This thing's just going to be painted black anyway, so I just want it to look okayish. Fuck, might even sand it up tonight. One of the sides has a weird texture on it. Done. Done, done, done. Done like a fucking chicken dinner. AVG, fuck off, man. I'm not resetting the computer. Be careful, you're going to get viruses and hackers and child porn and all sorts of shit download on here. I'm streaming, bitch. Trying to entertain an audience of fucking nobody, probably. Quickly. Oh, there we go. We got a single viewer. Hello, single viewer. Might be my tablet. It might actually be somebody. Lurkers, perfectly acceptable. Type of viewer I'd love to have is, a couple of people in the chat bar, but people also modelling. They've got the computer, they've got the tablet, their whatnot, sitting there, punching out their kit, listening to my bullshit, almost like a radio station. And then they can just look up and have a look and go, oh yeah, there is some progress. As we're talking about that, let's pull up the tablet and actually see if I'm still live and if I'm not just kidding myself and it's all crashed in a big disgusting mess and I've been talking to myself for half an hour for absolutely no reason whatsoever. So, tablet on the wall. Who's the fairest motherfucker of them all? You can see my fat shit hands and my shitly lip pieces. Hello, cunt. You are down with that. Giving some problems and shit, so turn that shit off. Do a bit of a tidy. And then we work on the next bowl. Then it's nub removal, eh? I'll throw these cum rags in the bin. Kick off. Keep battling. Keep going strong. Keep going hard. And I think I might be brewing a turd, so that's not too good. Mind you, with the vegetarian diet, it'll probably be pushed out very, very quickly. But Jesus, I don't even know how to clean a piece like this. That's just. There we go. Let's run down the hair grooves and just hope that that's enough So I've let it soak for a fair few hours. I've scrubbed it a few times. Later on we'll chuck some primer on her. We will see if that was good enough. I'm really nervous working with this part. That's why I probably might go quiet from time to time. Fucking hell, there's little hooks and nubs and whatnot and bucket, which is good. And we shall put her in the rinse container. I should put that on the screen. Rinse, shake, upside down, rinse, get all the soap off. Maybe I should rinse it out or something. No, maybe that's not necessary. Then we'll exclusively clean her down with bog roll. Maybe feel like I need to go for a shit. I'm looking at this bog roll and I'm like, I need a shit. And there's toilet paper and I'm handling toilet paper and I'm like, fuck, I wish I was caressing the inner crack of my ass and not wrapped around this hairpiece. But, que sera, sera. Nah, fuck this, man. I need a shit bad. I wanted to shit myself. As soon as I'm done drying this piece off, I will run off. You guys are going to time me. This isn't going to be one of those disgusting like cons or model expo or model show or a Gundam event or something where the toilets are just fucking putrid because people eat too much chocolate, too much shit, too much fried stuff, too much meat. They cement the toilet and they just fuck shit up with these sinkers. A nice balanced diet. You get regular, you shit daily, you shit easily, it doesn't get stuck. It's the idea of supposedly having a good diet. You know, we all betray ourselves, and KFC does, 24 nuggets for $10. Jesus Christ, they make good chicken nuggets. They're normally just so fucking expensive. You can't indulge on 24 fucking nuggets in one sitting. And then you go, mate, you've done weeks of good work, you've eaten healthy, cut back on sugar and shit and blah blah blah. And motherfucker, you just ate fucking 24 fucking nuggets in one sitting, and now you're a greasy fat fuck sitting there feeling sorry, rolling around and moaning in your own fucking shame. Shame on you, bitch. Shame on you. But that's not necessary. I will be back, and you know why. Kampai. I am back from outer space. I wasn't completely just a shit. I had to do other things as well. Had to feed my animals and stuff, so hope Twitch has not banned me. Still got one viewer. I've had 30 views. So it's not too bad. We could go pretty hard again, so excellent, excellent, excellent. Hey, feeling a bit tired, but we shall go hard. All these are really, really fragile bits, so bring them all within frame. Fucking jars everywhere, parts everywhere, water everywhere. This hair is just insanely thin. It looks great, but it's fragile. Some of these flash bits are going to be, unless the resin is really thin and it just snaps off with a sharp knife, it's going to be a bit of some delicate work. Luckily, as mentioned in one of the streams, E2046 resin is quite soft, very, very easy to work with. I remember what I was talking about last time. Pretty sure it was an unpalatable topic by norm standards. I would like to know what is the etiquette of how crass you can be in a video game stream. Considering a lot of, you know, you got YouTube and you got the whole Leafy is here and fucking tonnage videos and little kids playing Call of Duty, calling each other faggots and want to fuck each other's mothers and all that sort of shit. And then you go on to Twitch. Oh, and recently, a lot of people on YouTube, you know, making pedophile accusations here and there. I was advised that, you know, if you're a Twitch streamer, just don't talk about other streamers and other people, because it's just all the tonnage and stuff like that. Twitch can ban you, because a lot of people's reputations are being ruined and law cases and suits are going all over the place and whatnot. Whereas I'm fairly an independent modeler with a few other friends that model, but I don't know any streamers that stream modeling except for those Gundam guys. They stream on YouTube. I'm pretty safe there, so shouldn't be too much of an issue. But I don't know exactly how fucked up, how far or how much I have to grow until Twitch starts watching and policing. Got some strictish rules, but they work around me pretty easy. As long as I can have my uncanny jokes, but I assume they're pretty comfortable about those sort of things, so that should not be too much of a giant issue or a nuisance. So there. But it's very exciting. It just keeps rolling back in my head. As soon as I start advertising Twitch to the majority of my audience and tell them about these opportunities and people jumping in and having fun with me, it's going to be an exciting and fun time. Though scheduling it to make it into a regular thing, because at the moment it's just bar none, just whenever I can fit in time until I can figure out what sort of schedule I can put together, is going to be a bit interesting. No, it'll probably be a bit run like a hippie, you know, Tuesdays and Fridays. May start at midday, but as late as 4 PM. It could be as early as 10 AM, and we might finish a little early, or it could be as late as midnight, or whatever. That could be kind of fun. Okay, so I got the big ass. It's just it's got such a slender torso, upper body, but the hips are wide as hell. So that's a decent piece of resin, but at least she's not top heavy. Now I kind of wish she wasn't cast off, because it would have made it a little easier to connect. And at the same time, it's just how nice the detail is of the midriff, the laced panties, the dimples in the back and all that. It looks so beautiful, but it's just not appropriate to show it on this particular project. I'd like to find out who the sculptor is and buy probably more of a lewd project by them, you know, a bikini kit or something of a character that, you know, I sort of fancy. That could be quite attractive. It's not the usual just lolly fucking flat fucking dishwasher fucking chest and no ass to speak of. This has got some nice curves and lines and dimples and whatnot in places that not too bad. Not too bad at all. But if you look at the bio of the anime and whatever, I'm pretty sure these are all like high school people and or college or whatever, and you check the bio and they're probably 14 and talked about this in the last video. It's fucking Trinunjum. I like to make fun of people. It's hilarious. Like, you're into Lolly, you're into this character. You know, she's 14, fucking creep and all that sort of shit, and they freak out, and it's fucking hilarious. But is it the pot calling the kettle black? Methinks. Might have to be a discussion for a much later stream. At least one with a fucking audience. Where are you, Twitch? I'm here. I'm doing this. Come out. Play. Listen. This be a fun stream. I'm not going to do this whole thing. I was like, oh, hello, we're building a thing. Oh, thank you, HanaBear6969 for donating $10. Ding, ding, ding. You win 10 bubble points. I don't give a fuck about that. We're going to build, we're going to learn, we're going to talk, we're going to teach each other how to build. The more you contribute in interacting, the more you get out of it. The more you listen, the more you learn, you hear. The less you get out of it. None of this donation, support, supply, fucking, you might win a t-shirt. I am working on t-shirts, by the way. I have got some really cool, like, sort of semi-commie themed t-shirts in the works. They are cool. I will wear the living ever fuck out of them. But I've got some cool t-shirts, and when they're on for sale, you guys will love them. I showed them, every person I've shown my t-shirt designs, they're sort of like, oh, I gotta buy it. And it's seriously not about the money. I love wearing a good t-shirt, and you know, some of my t-shirt collections and shit, you get approached in the street and you go, man, that's a cool t-shirt. I want to make t-shirts where people, when you wear my t-shirts, people will approach you and go, where the fuck did you get that t-shirt? That t-shirt's cool. What does it mean? Why is it? Please explain. I want to make cool t-shirts. Really, 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 really honest to God cool t-shirts. And out of curiosity, oh, that fits beautifully. That's cool. I can't wait to play with the fitting. Shouldn't play with it now. Need to keep work on cleaning because there's nubs and shit. You can't get a good fitting. But it's just so tempting to play. I really want to play. Rum. I like rum. So I got the base. I was looking at the base and I was thinking at the base. I was talking about the base. It's sort of got some cutouts of some damaged katanas. Chrysanthemum leaf. It's part of a disc or a suba. A suba is a component to a Japanese sword that separates the handle from the blade. It's like the cross guard on European swords. The thing on Kylo Ren's lightsaber that people like to bitch and moan and cry about. They're very collectible. You can find historical ones or recast of historical ones, and should buy some subas. Always wanted to buy some Shingeki period or Warring States. Sorry, not Warring States, or Boshin War period subas. They're pretty cool because, you know, they're sort of like a fashion accessory. You can just swap them to whatever faction and day of the month and whatever it was for the more trendier, famous, bigger samurai or members of samurai clans and factions. For lesser, it's just whatever you're able to get, which is normally just an outline of whoever lord you're serving's symbol. It's a lot of work that goes into, you know, sculpting and casting and whatnot. Oh, history. I love me history. And that could be a lot of fun conversations in future streams. I suppose the hint or topic of these streams are future streams. I think what really upsets me is I can hear my voice, it sounds good and it looks good because I'm looking through my eyes and through my ears, but you know, that webcam, something needs to be done about it quick smart, because when that quality is good, you guys can experience what I'm experiencing, man, it's going to be love, it's going to be mood, it's going to be Barry White music. Cat's pissed. I fed my cat chicken. And some, you know, chicken that wasn't quite good for human consumption in the fridge. When she ate it, she loves her chicken, and when she doesn't have enough chicken where she just passes out and just a mess of her own blubber, she gets shitty because she wants to eat more chicken. And she's at the edge of the studio door bitching, she wants chicken. If we go silent, you can hear her complaining. I won't bring in the studio. I don't want to adjust the camera and show her off. She will appear in videos, I assure you. She's a social bitch. She'll want to interact and go, hey, it's me, the fat ballerina, fuck cat, whatever. You know, notice me, senpai. Notice me. Even though she has no concept of what a senpai is. Which, funnily enough, any of you guys that do, you know, karate, kendo, naginata, anything like that, you know what senpai really means. And when you climb up high enough, you're actually other people's senpais and shit. And you watch anime and then you see what, you know, the sexual innuendos of senpai is, and, you know, just something that's like pretty much that's senior and fuckable. It's amusing. It's pretty hilarious. I'm all for it. Funny. But Japanese people get shitty about anime and other sort of things like that. That's why they do the whole otaku thing, and they treat, you know, people that don't conform to society's whims, and that, you know, follows the high mind of convenience and furthering, you know, society and shit. They get cast aside and out. Though because the industry makes a lot of money, they allow it to thrive and survive and whatnot. And at a certain age and stage of your life, you can appreciate it. And then when that stage is over, it's go the fuck up, get to work, start a family, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. And if you sort of, you know, show inklings of enjoying it too much, otaku, witch hunt, fuck you, dickless virgin chode, rah, you'll never get laid, rah. And then you get like, you know, virtual waifu fucking bullshit, whatever. And you're like, 2D girls better, fuck 3D girls, and Japan's not fucking, and they're, you know, fucking, the demographic of, you know, reproducing and population and shit is not steadily growing, and people, like, due to these projections of these trends of the past 30 years, Japanese people be extinct, blah blah blah. It's only been 30 years, maybe 10 years later something else will be more interesting, more exciting, they might do something else, and people in Japan will want to fuck again, because it is a natural thing to do. People like to fuck. Unless it's porn hot enough where you don't need to fuck, and they do have a lot of porn. That's more here, more there. Another interesting topic. I was just intending to just be really laid back and just muck around and fuck around and just, you know, model in silence at some points and whatnot. I've kind of gone full ball again, so I'm thinking this video may also go on YouTube. And if you've been watching this long enough, I may as well say this. I would like... No, didn't blow a bubble. I would like my streaming to go somewhere, and I would like to have some sort of active chat and enough people to interact with. If you do discover this video in the archives of Twitch, which is probably impossible, it'll never happen, or if you find it on my PHD Manchild YouTube channel, you find it linked to my Mokana Man page on Facebook. You watched it. You've enjoyed it. Sort of like a radio thing. You've gotten this far. Please, 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 if only you're inclined and want to, create a Twitch account. Follow this shit. Share the Twitch account or video on your social media. Explain to your friends that you've enjoyed it and whatnot. So, fuck donations and e-begging and all that. Sharing and social media attention is what grows shit. I'd like to grow this shit from scratch. And at the start, I will be begging for assistance of social media shares, especially Twitter shoutouts. So just copy the URL of the video or the Twitch profile, slap it on your social media, go, this shit is the shit. Share it with your mates. If I can get a few people to do that, and by the time when I stream again next week, we can get a few people in chat, we will grow. We will grow this into something. It will be pretty fucking cool. Yes. If you watched it and you got feedback, you think there's like lagging or there's some sort of, technical thing that's annoying you a bit, even if I'm aware of it, sort of speak up and go, the audio's a bit shit, raspy, quiet sometimes, there might be some lag, the video's grainy, whatever. Let me know. At least I know I can work on that. Next week or the week after, I do want to buy a nice proper webcam and roll with that shit. But yeah, I want to get a decent webcam, and I want to have it asphyxiated over my workbench and get a really good view, so you guys got a good idea. Maybe a couple, so I can have two cameras showing different angles. I might use my shit camera and have a small corner, and I can have a picture of my face, and you can see me talk and react, and just gaze into my beautiful, beautiful brown eyes and my just masculine, wonderful, majestic, soft, fluffy, unicorn-esque riding beard. You love the beard. The only reason why you subscribe and follow the Mokana Man is because of the beard. I guess so. But that will help me fucking shit tons. What we're doing, the spaceship has had enough time in bleach, and we are relocating her into our second-hand water container for resin pieces. I'm just looking underneath to see if there's any pieces I've missed. No. Ship is transferred. With the other water, transfer it in. She is submerged. I'm going to let it soak in that for a while. Might give her a bit of a scrub and let her soak some more. And by then, it should be some clean as fuck resin. Sand the area. Prime it. And if she's good for painting, she's good for painting. Fuck yeah. I've got some ever so slightly cloudy resin here. I reckon I can use that resin half a dozen times more. Well, it's not resin. That bleach half a dozen times more to strip paint before it's completely no good. Chuck it in this clear jar. I'm going to put this jar far away that no one else can access it, so some dumb cunt's not going to drink it. If you've got children, young ones, dumb cunts in your household, dependents, whatever, be responsible for your chemicals. Label them, put them up in a lockable fucking container. You do not want accidents. We can joke and laugh and have a fucking good time and all that, But, you know, if someone goes to hospital or die because they've drunk something that you stupidly put in a big M container, you've only got yourself to blame. The reason why chemical bottles have got unopenable lids and whatnot. And this is a jam jar. Luckily, the household I live in is just got adults in it. No one really has a drug or alcohol problem or anything. Strictly no children. The studio is off bounds to all outsiders. And we've got chemical cabinets. I'm going to put that away. Next time I need a strip paint, it can come out. And that's just some chemical discipline. You are like a discipline. So what I'm probably going to do after I rinse out my Chinese food container, I'm going to put these containers away, dry up, lay out my pieces on the green mat, and then we're going to start removing nubs. Fuck yeah! Nub removal. Everything nice and slow. No rush. So much bleach flying around and moving around and whatnot. Everything stinks of cum. Smells like a Star Wars toilet. Cum dumpster. Okay. I will be back. Rum and coke. We're still recording. Nothing's changed. See you fuckers. We are back. Now my cat is trying to break down the door, so not forgetting what we agreed upon. So give this a bit of a scrub where the spots are. Other areas and shit. And then we settle her back down in her tank of detergent and water. Let it soak. Which, it's not too bad. And then sanding after that. Because there's still like, you know, textures of primer and whatnot. Woo! After we stop being mature. Fuck it, we're never going to be mature. And I'll relocate everything along here. Big pieces, little pieces, sideway pieces, whatever. A nice size 11 blade. A scalpel. Going to use that to trim flash. Now I'm going to have to be a little more focused, and we need to think more YouTube tutorial. Because if I fuck this up, being a sponsorship and everything, I fuck up a lot of things. All the parts are clean. And what I'm going to do is, once I've cleaned and sanded a bit, it's going to go in the box. And once everything's in the box, it comes out of the box and we start doing test fitting. What can be glued together gets glued together. What to get a pin gets a pin. What doesn't, what doesn't. Yada yada yada. Some of the hair follicles will be glued on permanently, so it doesn't shit me. A lot of stuff's apart because of color separation. I love playing with the katana. So the katana, it's twisted, so we're going to have to put it in boiling water and untwist it. It just looks really, really, really strange. Might do that today. Who knows? Whatever I feel like. Need to pull out the instructions and instructions don't explain too much to me. That's okay. We can live with it. I'm thinking with the skirt, I want to do a tartan skirt. It's going to be cool. I want to do a yellow tartan skirt. A lot like my kilts. I own kilts. I lap sometimes on my kilts. It's a pretty cool kilt. And I'm thinking I'm going to do the same tartan. That's going to be pretty awesome. Hey, it's all here. All sorted. Photo time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on cluster of bits. I'll take a photo of them with their nubs, and then I'll take a photo of them without the nubs. Generally, I like to work on what's a gigantic pain in my asshole first. And then we'll see. I think the idea is the chest plate's meant to be popping off or something. Now I'm thinking I might file down the breasts and have a better fit. Because you can see that there is a huge gap. You got detail of the breasts, and the chest plate's just swinging off because, you know, buckle's been done or undone or something. But if we carve away the breasts, flatten it a bit, we should be, but still have cleavage. you still got to have the cleavage. The detail and the proportions are quite nice. I want to have more stuck to the stomach, and that will be so. Whatever. We're modifying the figure. It's not going to be an out-of-the-box job. Fortunately or unfortunately, don't know. So we'll see how we go. Hair first. Hair first. And some of these tires and shit. Okay, they go on the front of the armor and stuff. Oh, I see how those work. That's cool. Okay. So we're working on these pieces first. Very fragile, very, very thin. We're going to use nippers, knife, a few grades of sandpaper, I have got 180 grit, .360 grit, 2000 grit. Gonna polish down from those. Fold down the little lips. Things are finally happening, eh? Chat is still silent. Fuck you, chat. Knife. Rum. Good rum. Nippers. Nippers on the wall. All the fuck out of fucking nippers. Where the nippers at, cunt? Where's the fucking nippers at, eh? Oh no! Oh no! Oh, the fucking nippers, eh? I gotta stop doing that. If anyone's familiar with Paul French, which if you're not within Australia you won't be, he does a series called Fat Pizza and Housos and all that. It's a hilarious comedy in Australia. It's about, the cultural diversity and racism that goes on and other dramas and stuff. It's pretty funny. It paints my country in a bad light. But it is what it is. So I'm not in Saudi Arabia, so I can pretty much talk shit about how things are going here on a political level. At the same time, if I got people that, politically do not agree with what I say, they won't want to probably be a follower of mine anymore. Honestly, they can get fucked. But I don't want a lot of people getting fucked, because that's just not in sharing the hobby and whatnot. So I've done a little trimming of this piece, and there's with how flashes go and all that. Sanding's involved. Sanding produces dust. Resin dust is not good. We're going to utilize sandpaper. Now the sandpaper are going to be regularly wetted and kept constantly wet. And we're going to do a couple of passes. Wet again, a few more passes. And we're going to do that so it always stays wet. The resin collected goes back in the water, never goes airborne, doesn't affect me. We go straight down, because that was just a few scratches with the 1800 grit. Then we're going to do the bulk of the work with the 360 grit sandpaper. Get it all nice and smooth. Sand it down to the flat surface that everything else is. And now we're going to polish the area with 1000 grit. It is a very, 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 very long process, though it's what gets me the best result, and it's what makes me the happiest. And this thing's got like 3 or 4 flash on it on this tiny, tiny piece. Pain in the ass. But I suppose it's what leads to a very, very nice casting. So, again, 180 grit, get it down nice and flat. Pieces. Now this is the shit part about having very soft resin when you're working with tiny pieces like this. It flex and bends in your hands. It snaps so easily because it is so fucking brittle. But it takes experience and time and handling resin to just, you know, be familiar and comfortable working with resin. At this stage I'm pretty comfortable. I've tried a few different resins, and I just want to keep working with more and more resin so I can get more and more experience, to have more and more fun, and see how far I can go with this thing. And this figure, I think I'm definitely going to be doing some modifications, so it's going to be pretty interesting. There we go. Oh, I better make sure that I've taken a pre-photo. If I haven't taken a pre-photo, then I've already fucked up. No, I haven't taken a pre-photo! Take it now, quickly, 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 quickly. That girl's only working on a small part. When all the flash has been cleaned, then, and then only can we be free? I'm talking about. No, we're not going to be free. We're going to move on to the next step. I honestly don't think this project will take too long. So it is my main project. And I'm probably going to do a few tanks on the side when this gets hectic, or maybe what I want to try to do when I do like a long day of streaming. An hour on armor, 2 hours on armor. And then we're going to play with resin or longer term projects, styrene, other things. It's like, tanks are fun. I like tanks, they're quick, they're easy, they're fun. I want to pump out a few tanks a month as a goal. My tank reviews are fairly popular. There's not a lot of people doing tanks on, well, compared to how many people do tanks on, or how many people do Gunpla on YouTube, and people do tanks and aircraft and shit. If you're starting a YouTube channel and you want to get attention and shit and build models and whatnot, have multiple disciplines and models. Don't just build Gunpla. You will not get far building Gunpla. When I mean Gunpla, I'm incorporating like a lot of anime subjects, as in Gunpla, Code Bakir stuff, whatnot. Spread out. Do other things, and do other things regularly. Do Gunpla and aircraft. Gunpla and tanks. Gunpla and figures. Wargaming is another one. Wargaming is way oversaturated. You won't get far on that. So Gunpla and Wargaming won't get you far. But Gunpla, or Zoids. Zoids is never covered enough. If you do Gunpla and Zoids, you do a lot of Zoids. You build like 5-6 Zoids a year or something, even more. If you snap, obviously a lot more than that. Zoids will get you far. 35th scale tanks will get you far, especially girls and panzer subjects. Cars, RC, anything else, and you need to do it probably just as much, if not 50% of Gunpla, and you'll have 2 audiences: people that'll tune in and watch your Gunpla videos, people that'll tune in and watch your military, Zoids, figures, whatever content, and that's a great way of growing a channel. cannot grow a channel and build nothing but gunpla. You will not get off the ground. There's just too many people doing it, especially just snap. If you're painting and modifying and whatnot, there is a chance, and you'll grow if your content is regular enough. And I think where I've got a lucky shtick is when I was doing YouTube, there was barely any tutorial channels in English. And because of that, I got discovered by Too Old for Toys, who gave me a shout out. And that's pretty awesome. And I'm going to camera shot. Now I've got so many ideas of streaming and stuff. Pull it off, carried on. If I can get what I envisioned done and working, I think this could be an interesting, fun thing. And generally, a lot of things I envision and try to pull off can work. Should be able to work. And yeah. Well, I can't play music. At this stage, again, without chat, is getting a bit hard. Getting later on in the chat, getting a bit tired. If I could just keep bouncing off shit, that could be alright. What I'm doing right now, it's always good to talk about what I'm doing right now. So I removed the nubs, I cut it off with the plastic nippers. I've removed the gate pegs with a knife, very sharp knife. I've just replaced the blade, 911 blade on my XL scalpel. It's actually an X-Acto knife, but you know. And then I file down the nub with multiple grades of sandpaper until it's nice and smooth. Once the nubs are down, I generally try to sand as much of the surface or buff as much of the surface as possible with 1000 grit. So if there's anything left over in the way from texture from the casting or mold release, that will remove it. So that is one piece cleaned. Now that piece took an extra long while due to how fragile it is. These two would probably be the hardest pieces to clean on the whole kit. The best thing about resin is everything is there at the same time, and you can just target what's easiest or what's the most inconvenient first. I like to go for the shittiest bit of the job first, so I can put my absolute amount of attention in it. I cut the nub mark, and you cut it away from the piece as you do in plastic, and then you shave it down till it's fairly close to the surface, not cutting into the flesh of the piece. And when it's sticking out, extruding by half a mil to a mil. You take it with a very, very aggressive sandpaper. You only pass it 18 times. Give it about half a dozen to a dozen scrapes. And then you move on to yay old 300 to 400 grit sand. Get it down to the contour and the flatness of the surrounding surface. Now, a lot of these pieces are undergated. Undergated is where the gate is in an area that's not so visible in the kit. So if you do a shit job of removing it, it doesn't appear in surface detail. Not all kits are like that, so practice of removing nubs should always be done in absolute most cleanest and nicest manner. Even if it's not too noticeable, it might still be noticeable in the finished product. And when people look, critique and enjoy your kit, they can see these sort of things. And even though it's tedious and it's a long process, it's the sort of thing you focus on, and that's what separates your models from other modelers that, you know, time and effort put in. A lot of people do complain and bitch and sook about nubs. Nubs is a part of the hobby, and it's what you put into nubs is what you get out in what sort of finish model you have. And some people, they're going on about these ultimate nippers, God hand nippers, all that sort of thing. Very, very expensive nippers that sort of cut your nub off without stressing the plastic into oblivion to this tiny bit. They can be buffed off with superfine sandpaper. These tools are very exclusive, very expensive, but they don't last too long. After a while they wear off and they don't cut as nicely as they used to. You either have to use to getting them shittier and more work, or you have to replace them constantly, which can be an absolute pain. I don't recommend them. I do recommend them, but I don't recommend them for just general modelling and gunpla. I actually recommend to keep them for military and civil subjects where the part that you're cutting is so hard to remove that it risks snapping because it's really, really thin. Or things like special coated parts or clear parts where they can fracture and break. That's what I keep my special nippers for. Just using it to cut every single piece, a few kits and it wears out. It's just good to just learn how to deal with nubs in a normal fashion. I do have all of the premium nippers. Been meaning to do a video review on them for a very long time. That can occur sometime in the future. There we go. It's coming out beautifully. So we're working on a longer strand of hair. Fucking hell, AVG. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off, Ski. Go away. No one likes you. No, don't go away. I love you, AVG. You protect my computer, but fuck off, AVG. So, example, with this piece here, the inserting piece has the nub, so fitting does not work too well, but when the nub's being removed and filed down, it's going to glue into the internals. So if you do just a quick, nasty shit job of cleaning up, and the part still fits, it's not noticeable. Going to do a good job of cleaning it up anyway, so the fit is good. Oh, fucking sandpaper everywhere. And we'll do a test fit to make sure it fits in the hole that it belongs. Hole. These smaller ribbon pieces, they just pin and glue onto whatever fucking surface. Bigger pieces, you gotta make sure they fit nicely. And if they fit well, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Awesome, awesome. Awesome. Threesome will be good. Down to the 400, 300, whatever. When pressure is very important in sanding. I fold over the piece and I apply pressure. Apply too much pressure, you damage areas around what you want to remove. It sort of contours around the piece and dig into the material, so you're scratching the surface as well as the area you want to remove. When you're using really coarse sandpaper, minimum pressure, the higher grit you go, the more pressure you put on. So when you go to 2000, you just put on like a rock hard fucking ton of pressure. But if you're buffing a painted piece, you never apply pressure with the 2000 grit sandpaper. You remove paint in certain areas. That's when you just go nice and light as if you were using a high grit thing. It takes practice, you'll make mistakes, you'll leave scars and shit in some projects, and over time you get better and better and better. That's if you choose to be a sandpaper person. Everyone's got their own methods and everyone's different. If you're into filing or something else, that's cool. If you're into using those premium nippers, I explained why I don't approve of them, but that's okay. Jesus, man, that just clicks in and that's it. Bang. Doesn't come out at all. It comes out. But fuck, it just slips in beautifully. Choice. Gonna give the whole piece a buff. This is done. Next, hair follicle. Oh, hair follicles. And I've got two that look very similar. One goes there. And one that goes elsewhere. There we go. I see the two holes. Two holes. Immature innuendos. That is what I am all about. Throat scratchy. Rum and coke. So now with this long hair follicle, we're just buffing it. Leaves thousands of tiny scratches that cannot be seen by the human eye. It potentially removes any last remnants there are of mold release, which I doubt there are. And it also creates these tiny little scratches that you can't see even through paint, to make it even easier for the primer to etch into the material. Sometimes I use a higher grit sandpaper, but it's just good practice to sand all the surface and polish her up nice. And you might even want to do it again on it when it's primed, but that's purely up to you. So that's done. We can see here there's a bar across the two, and there's two fill-in points for the hair follicles that needs to be removed. Very careful. You can see that, I don't know if you can see, but there's like a really ragged edge. I've left a significant amount of material. Hair's not too problematic. If you snap a tiny tip off or damage a bit, you can just keep filing it down until it looks smooth or natural. But I want to sort of portray as much of the figure as possible as the original sculptor intended it, and then say it's wrong and modify some other bits that are quite significant to make mine look different to others. Now, it just beautifully comes off by honing and shaving the blade up against the nub, and it just clips off very neatly. It is a bloody sharp knife, so. And you just apply minimal pressure. Because putting pressure on it and it's just darting off, it risks digging into the material and just scarring the plastic, and you have to sand and putty and cause all sorts of other bullshit trouble. There we go. End of the hair follicles nicely done. Might have to do 2-3 passes with the 180, and then the rest will be the finer grit sandpaper. It is insanely nerve-wracking. I haven't actually looked at the chat for ages. I could so see myself ignoring it. So I'm just talking about the work, and I'm just engrossed in it. And the thing is, just sharing it live is interesting. I'm not like, oh, it's live, the video's, the camera is on, I'm doing this 30-second cut just to do like, the general tutorial. Sharing it step by step, minute by minute, hour by hour, it is a different experience, and I'm very happy to share this. And I just can't wait to share this with, an audience. I was going to say a larger audience, but faces, there is no audience. So we're just caressing, we're just gently wiping over where the nubs used to be, rub it away into nothing, slide it down. This is the 180 grit. Sharpen the tips a bit, put that aside. See, that was the 400 grit. This is the 180 grit. It's picked up what it needs to. Now back to this. Bit more pressure. This can snap so easily, so I am a bit awkward and quiet at this stage. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. I think, as I was mentioning a while ago, uploading. The first one I didn't upload. That was kind of garbage, because there's just too many silent bits, too many bits where I was paranoid and checking, you know, if the feed was still on and whatnot. Which I should probably go check on that now, and I can finish polishing that piece. But keep talking while I'm doing it. And people that want to sit there and just listen and watch, they can see how the resin kit is built in live time. So loading, I can see the yellow towel out and washing everything, and then we'll see where it jumps, and it should have my green mat and a bunch of bits and whatnot. It's taking a little while to load, but it's telling me it's live. Welcome to the chat. It's frozen. There we go, we're still live. It's got all the bits, it's got the hair, it's got me working like a dumb cunt. Fucking choice, we are still live, we're still going strong. I'm very happy about that. That's absolutely excellent. We probably only still got one viewer or 0 viewers, a lurker, whatever. If you are out there, mate, I hope you're enjoying it. This is for you. You're one of the first there, mate. You can brag about it, or you can not give a fuck. I don't care. But I appreciate if you are there and you're listening and you're enjoying it, even just me in the background as like a radio noise. That is completely appropriate and cool. And we can do all this absolutely live and work on this E2046 thing. I would have bought this kit and put it aside due to how expensive and big it is, and go, I'll work on something, you know, smaller or whatnot. Just be throwing it and saying, here, build this for the better glory of our business and community. It's sort of like, cool, it's something I would not have necessarily picked up immediately. So it's a nice challenge, and when I'm done with this, it's the Girls and Panzer build. So that's all beautifully polished, sanded up, cleaned. It's practically ready for primer after drying. Still a very, very, very slow process. Next piece, 3 nubs. This one's a bit thicker, a bit easier than the original. Before I do that, I need to do a test fit. This one has a tiny, tiny nub. It goes somewhere on it doesn't fit too well. That one clicks in, so this one obviously belongs over here. And that fits beautifully. It sits in there. That's cool. And this one's for the other side of the face. It's fragile as fuck. And it fits really good. Once the super glue is superglued in and oozes out a bit, and sanded back a bit, it's like no putty or anything that needs to be utilized. So that's really, really cool. First we remove the nubs, then we remove the gates. Well, that's a curved bit, that's going to be cunt. And then we sand it, and it's the same old fucking tedious bullshit that we get in every model kit. And face it, fucking love it. Nub removal is not the worst thing in the world. When you're removing a much larger nub, small amounts of pressure, and you just remove small bits. You just chip away. Chip, 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 and it gets smaller and smaller. If you try to wipe it out in one slice, you will do significant scarring and damage to the plastic. If you just chip it away slowly, it's like you're sculpting it back to the original surface that the creator has sculpted in. And it leads to a nice, smooth finish surface. And there's a lot of details that are not quite exciting enough that are not included in videos. They could just be talked about here. And it will get a bit repetitive. It'll probably be mentioned a few times every now and then. My honing airbrush videos do get repetitive, and a few same things get reminded. Sometimes these reminders are good because we forget and we wonder why something fucks up. And then it gets reminded as like, hey, did you remember to do this? And you go like, fuck, no. Thank God I watched that and was reminded. And I remind myself too while doing it. Fuck, I hooked the hair and I kind of took off about 4 millimeters of the top trying to get that curve. That was a hard curve, it's gone. What we're going to do, because we've got a snapped off bit, we will file down the edge until it comes to a point and make it look like that's where the hair was meant to end. And no one will be the wiser except for you, me, and whoever watches this video. Tell anyone I'll kill you, cunts. Nah, I'm joking. It's natural that something like this would happen, but that's alright. There you go, nice little points. Clean up with oh shit, the next one could actually be kind of really time consuming. The back hair, I just realized there's like a ton of nubs at the end of all those curly hair bits, and like some of them might break off and whatnot, but I don't think that's too much of an issue. It's 10:30. I don't know what time I started this stream. Oh, heaps of time, man. I don't care what time I go to sleep. I've sort of slept shit tons over the last couple of days while cleaning up and doing other things. Wednesday night, everything was a mess from Anamanga, that big con that I talked about. I had shit everywhere and the studio was in a mess. And last night, I cleaned and yesterday to last night, I cleaned and cleaned, set everything up, set up the stream, tried streaming, failed absolutely miserably, went to bed a bit disappointed. Today, clean studio, open project, made a ton of progress on this project, streaming like a fucking cockhead. It's a shit stream, but hey, we got really far. No, fuck we. I got really far in the last couple of days of just, getting shit done. And yeah. It'd be kind of cool when this is... If I get this done before November, which is ages away, I could enter this in the bayonet competition. Put it in the figure category. See how well it will tick. So I've got the Hatsune Miku up there. Not my best work. It's not bad, but there's a few things I definitely could have done better. Video did alright. So with every figure you learn, you improve. and I want this figure to be pretty good. There's not a lot of flesh, and everything fits in quite well, so this figure should come out nicely. We got the Volks figure after that. And whatnot. Next hair follicle done. Big cut. Now I'm like really paranoid. So I'm going to be quiet at a few stages. Make sure that it gets done good. And that cleaned up nicely, so that's alright. It's nice and even. Sanding this is going to be a cunt. There's a few areas where the casting is a bit, you know, hairy. It is hair. It's pretty freaking neat. I've worked with like really rough and amateurish casts, and this cast is, it's not bad. It's up there. It's up there. And I'm not that disappointed in my Miku. The Miku's an old kit. It's an old casting. It's id 2046's really early work. So nothing to be ashamed of there. That took a lot of work. That was like my second anime figure ever. Silent times when I'm awkwardly silent and there's nothing to talk about and I'm focused on a piece and I'm not looking at the chat and not giving a fuck because I want to fuck up my model, because you know you can fuck up in a video game, you press restart, but if you fuck up in a model that costs money and you fucking like fuck. Can't, but yeah. I got that out of my system. Thank you for putting up with it. There we go. It's a lot better. Lot better. Now I can totally see why other modelling streamers go quiet sometimes. Because entertaining and modelling at the same time is hard, even though I am seasoned at modelling. Always keep the sandpaper wet, don't let it dry out, because then dust starts flying, you breathe it in. It's something that's very easy to forget. And I'm almost done with the end of these hair follicles. Sweet. It's a weird mark, somewhere about here, but just going to sand down a section to make it a little less obvious. And just hope that the dark paint does not make that weird hole here. Might have to ram just like the tiniest amount of putty down there by a toothpick. But looking at it in this direction, it's not noticeable at all. It's only noticeable when you look at it upside down. So that's a bit strange. I think I hear a helicopter. I live really close to a creek that leads to like a beach area, and like shit can happen at the creek, and it's not unusual for helicopters to be sent out, police and whatnot. And it's a sound that almost, it's not common like it happens every night, but like you hear it like once or twice a week. Being in nature reserve and shit, might even be just like a standard patrol training. Who fucking knows? I'm just guessing here, but got like a giant fuck off royal nub here. Now it's royally a smaller nub. Again, just take off tiny chunks with the knife. Don't try to take it all at once. It's in a weird curve area, so I'm going to have to rely on more sanding than cutting. Where's the head? Oh, but yeah, of course the head's got a fucking nub there, so I can't do a test fucking fit, can I? Though if I put the other section on of the hair, fits beautifully. That's not too bad. I think I'll just sand it down. It's not as noticeable as I originally thought. This is where test fitting is quite important. 180 grit. And we cut that shit down to size. Holy fuck, we're so close to getting the hair done, it's crazy. And then the rest of it will be a lot easier. It'll just, like, you'll be surprised how, like, you're seeing that a ton of time is being spent on this hair. It's good to learn on the hardest bit first. So when you build your first resin kit, cut the easy nubs first off just to get comfortable before you do the hard shit. When you experience, you do the hard shit first. If you're working with a resin company model that you haven't worked with before, and you want to just get comfortable with what sort of resin it is and whatnot, remove the easy bits first. And then you can get a good feel of it. Then it's all good. Now I'm just giving everything like a bit of a buff. Just to make it so it's easier for paint to adhere on. The hair detail and the placement and the sculpt is just really cool. It's definitely done by a professional company or something. This isn't just some sort of like garage gig. This has got to be a licensed model of some sort. It's just really cool. If it is just a garage sculpt and it's just some guy who's a hobbyist, like, dude, man, fucking cheers to you. Lovely work, love it. Would love to buy, paint and build more of your shit. Or see more of your shit. Because I'm just having a ball. This is a great, great resin kit. Don't forget the inside. Oh, and I also got to not forget, got a special technique to show how to rig my resin pieces up for painting. Nice and easy without, you know, getting any sort of trouble and heartache. It's a nice original Mokana Man technique. And it's very similar to Gunpla, where we're able to attach all these pieces to paint clips and just hold them and paint them instead of having to like roll them over and whatnot. It just makes, you know, shading and all that sort of stuff just possible. I don't think this kit will require a lot of shading, so that's alright. I might stop this at about 11:30ish because I'd probably like to post photos of this build online and show off what I've done. Promote myself a bit. Promoting is good. Promoting is important. Well, the hair did intimidate me at first. Many minutes later, she's almost done. Guess I'm just full of piss and wind, man. Piss and wind. All buffed, all done, all ready for priming after a good dry. Probably another rinse. Don't forget, I need to clean these down another time. Or give it another soak. Maybe a 24-hour soak in water bleach or something. Yeah, this one's going to be a bit of a cunt. There's all sorts of hooks. The hair follicles are at its finest at the front. And there's all this interesting detail, and there's like a ball of resin here for some reason. Maybe there's like a tiny leak in the mold. We'll just carve that out. A bit of a hook. Cut that tiny tip off. Being very careful not to snap the ends of any of these, because all of these hair follicles are just so nicely pointed and tipped and whatnot. Trying to be as humanly careful as possible. And it just hooks and snaps so easily. And then there's like part. It's right over here, and we're just gonna snip. Beautifully. A little rough. We can remove it again with our tips with the knife. Just remove tiny amounts at a time down to the bare plastic, and then we sand. And having all of our sandpaper on standby makes the job just so much easier. Ooh, I almost snapped. Yeah, I actually snapped it. I snapped a piece. Fuck. That's alright, I actually clicked straight into place. I'm just going to reinforce with super glue. I might do that later because it's just stuck. No, I better do that now because it's going to bother me later and whatnot. Matt, I've got a ton of super glue, so... Que sera, sera. Que sera, sera. Something, something. Ora. Fixed. Just gonna wait for it to dry. All fucking good. Because there's super glue there, sanding around that area will not be necessary because the super glue is going to take the paint, not the resin. Because I put a tiny amount. Once the super glue dries, I might re-sand there again in the future. That's a different story. Still one more nub to remove. I have another thing I haven't realised, because sometimes I make a lot of mistakes and then I have to recover the mistakes and it takes me like half an hour or something. It's a waste of time and all that sort of shit. You guys will have the glory of seeing everything first-hand, reactions when mask goes wrong, mistakes go wrong, fuck, shit, can't fuck, all that sort of thing, and calmly talking through how I'm going to fix it, all because I'm in front of an audience. So that's something I have not thought about. That was dangerous because that all came out in one piece, and I'm worried that a crater might have been caused from the removal. of that nub. Again, slide, 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 removing small pieces at a time. It's fairly flat, it's like less than a millimeter high. Sand back the nub on 20 grit, nice and flat. At a later date, I'll glue the hair follicles together, so it'll be the next time we have a session together. Not today, because the piece is still wet and stuff. We're going to really be patient with this build, not do any rushing like we did with the Gundam ship. So the reason why it's sitting there in the bath fucking bleach. Fuck you, Gundam ship. Well, actually, fuck me for being impatient, but fuck you, Gundam ship. Polish the area that we've been sanding with 1000 grit. You know, all nice and smooth, like there never was a nub there ever before. As Mr. Kawaguchi mentioned in the tutorial I attended, every time you model, every time you build a kit, every experience, every mistake, everything, it just makes you faster. And you can do things faster, but just as neat and skillfully as before. And with something that fine and that crazy detailed, the speed that I've done it in about 20 minutes, I reckon, it's pretty crazy. It's not too bad. I shall rearrange everything to how it originally was, take a photo for work in progress. Get everything at the correct orientation. And it shows, and then we've got a nice photo of before and after with nubs and without nubs. Choice. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Where the fuck did the example picture went? If that's gone missing, I'm fucked. She hasn't gone far because there it is. It's in the studio. I'm the only one in the household. Nothing could have gone wrong. And we shall put everything in the box. And we shall get the next batch of parts. Next batch of parts, sir. So, that was a stupid fucking accent. You could definitely flail me for that one. Have a quick look on the viewer, 80 total views, nothing's changed. Still at the bottom of the barrel. Not a problem, it is a journey. Tidy up as we go, so there's no big clean up afterwards. I can see and feel myself expanding. Go for a little longer, I want to get some more resin done. We'll see. Well, I want to save the breast and the breastplates for last. The sword later. The skirts I can put together. Legs and thighs can go together. Now, sometimes you have to be very careful, and if you're not too sure, you need to find what is a nub mark, because some of these nubs look really, really elaborate, and what is detailed, so you just need to keep constantly referring. I think I might do some arms and shit. I think that's part of a shoe or something. Yeah, that's definitely a part of a shoe. So that goes with the shoes and shit. Goes in the arms. Oh, it looks like it's going to be arms. Well, I looked at it, and this could be a bit of a cunt, but we will pin it. Pinning is awesome. Yeah, it looks like it belongs there. So this part connects in this way. That's definitely going to need a pin. That's also, we know that that's an outer leg. So the amount of times I put my armor on, I put my armor legs on and go, oh fuck, wrong leg on wrong leg, or wrong leg armor on wrong leg, or some shit like that. So I've worked out a nice little cluster of parts where shit can be sorted. And I'm guessing head and arms. And that way I can test the head as soon as humanly possible. So I'm just having a look at fit and shit. Man, that's an interesting... Oh, that's a nice fit. And then this shit goes down there, and blah blah blah, and I'm thinking, because it's most likely the same colour, which it is, these parts, the cops and the arms can be glued on and kept as one piece. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm thinking aloud, so don't mind me. It's almost like this piece doesn't have any nubs whatsoever. What is this piece? Especially got fuck all. This one has tiny nubs. I have to be very, very, very careful. Because those look like nubs, but they're important for the cops to connect. So I can remove that and that. And the hand. Okay. So these pieces don't have a lot of nubs. There's a bit of sanding. Not take long to get through them whatsoever. I will disappear for a short period of time. I'll clean these up. I think we can call that a night. And then that way I've got 4 piles of resin to get through. Yeah, cool. The old piss wire break is okay. Don't be scared, don't be worried. We're back. So take a photo first before we remove any nubs. We start trimming. Oh fuck. Don't know where that went. Luckily it's just a nub. I hope it hasn't gone in there because that's going to be an unnecessary piece of resin. Bunch of necessary pieces of resin. Yeah, sometimes hate that when you cut a big nub and it just fucking gets all this energy from being, you know, strung up. It just flies across the room. When I was at Anamanga, someone removed a massive nub from a tree when they were converting a Mekindasume or something. And it flew across the table and landed in a drink. I was drinking like a solo or something. When I was drinking, felt this strange thing go in my mouth, spat it out immediately in my hand. It was a fucking nub off a kit. And yeah, that was pretty hilarious, but I was pretty pissed at the time, so I'm laughing about it now. I've never had that ever happen to me, ever before, where it just conveniently landed in someone's drink. But the amount of live modelling events I do, bound to happen one day. Okay. Sandpaper. It's in a hidden area, so I can go pretty hard with the 120 grit. It's at the very top of the head, and it's hidden. I don't have to polish. I'll probably polish it anyway. The area's not even going to be painted anyway because it's just for holding in of glue. But it's just good practice. Oh, when I sand, my hand gets all blurry and shit. Well, eventually we're going to have to get, you know, better settings, better computers, better other things, but, you know. We'll see how we go. See how we carry on. Definitely getting tired. Third time I've streamed. First streaming session was an hour. Second streaming session was an hour and a half. This session I'm not too sure, won't know until I turn off the camera. First one was a bit of a disaster in how often I didn't talk and checked the tablet and other things, and I disappeared for large periods of time. The second one, not as bad. This one, even though I've disappeared probably for the longest period yet, I think it's long enough and interesting enough. I think as soon as I put, some cover content in for when I do disappear, I've got an idea how I'm going to do that. It's going to be pretty cool and comfortable. I watch this podcast called The Drunken Peasants, starring a guy named the Amazing Atheist. And they have a 10-minute break and they play music and show slideshows and shit like that. And I think, like sort of an internal commercial type thing. So when I disappear for a short period of time, it could be such as just reminders of when other things are happening around the channel, other things in the community, things to look out for, little hints and shit. Sponsors, other stuff. So this is just some sort of audio noise occurring as I'm gone. It's not dead silence. So the silence is what really kills a stream, I suppose, and at least if there's something that's covering it for a short period of time, that would be pretty cool. So I'm really glad I've got something as innovative as that to draw inspiration off and copy. So touching of my finger after sanding that point, it's nice and smooth. I'm going to get the two original hair pieces back and we'll do a test fit. Fuck, that is a snug fit. It's off camera. It is snug fit. Jesus Christ, that is awesome. Now, I might still pin it. I think maybe the head and hair still needs to be pinned. But that's not too much of a problem. Might not need to be pinned. The engineering of this resin kit is very clever. I definitely do have to say that. Hair goes back in. And the hair off my scrote can fuck off. There we go. Now, these pieces virtually they were probably big nubs, and they were probably removed by E2046, leaving a tiny amount on top. Conveniently, to allow for easy cleanup. Not a problem. Cannot complain about that for a second. Now we'll see if these pieces fit. So we've got the torso, we've got the arm. Doesn't fit here, fits here. Fits there nicely, and I think it's... Nope. Okay. That fits too. So that works. Does this fit in the other armhole? Yes, it does. And does the other arm fit? Beautifully, like a glove, they would say. Shut the fuck up. So I assume that it does to be ultimate test fit. You put that on, and then you put that on. She's practically holding on her chest plate from just falling off, which is pretty cool. And you can see like a bit of her tits and a bit of a nip slip and all that. quite an aero figure, or naughty or horny. Fuck! You know, you get the idea. I think it's a sword. I'm just gonna outright just do a tutorial and go like, here's a warped piece, hot water, straight, very nice. How much? Okay. So now let's give these pieces a bit of a good royal sanding with the 300 something grit. Oh, there's a rough bit there. Oh, we need to get rid of that. That's probably from a runner that I didn't remove. That E probably just snapped off. That could have been easily missed. And I suppose that's what happens when you pay careful attention and study each part pretty closely. You pick things up and go, ooh, that's not right, that's not right, that's not right, that's right. Just give everything a good royal rub down. I gotta say, resin's just, it's fun. It is definitely fun. I'd like to get a few resin kits done before Christmas. It'll do me a world of good. It'll do the channel a world of good. There's just not enough resin being done out there, I reckon. And I just want to put something that's really cool out there. Something that E2046 will like. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do about the chest. The chest is it's going to be crazy. I don't want it to be popping off and doing some sort of sexualized thing. I want it to be empowering. So I'm going to have to shave down the breasts and use a tiny bit of putty. Make sure that chest plate sticks on nicely. Okay. Polish. So the 320 grit sanded it. Now we polish it. Nice and smooth with the paint and the primer. Yeah, it can etch on beautifully. Rum and Coke. Nice and loose and fun and enjoyable. But yeah, anyone that's watched this far, I mentioned before, thank you so much. I hope it was definitely very, very worthwhile. I have a lot of fun with this stream and the other two streams. We're going to work together and we'll get it off the ground. It's going to be something interesting. Can't wait to see where it goes and when it gets like advertised and stuff. Got a rough idea what I want to do, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be out there. But I suppose another thing, if you want to record these streams, edit them and put them up as your own videos and go like, here's a tutorial on how to do blah by videos that I stole from Mokana Man and edited it myself and put it out there. You do that, I'm cool with that. Just link them back here. If you monetize it, you definitely have to link it back here because you've done all the editing work and caption work and whatnot. I'm just going to upload some of them whole hog onto YouTube. I'm not going to do highlights or anything like that. So if someone wants to make a channel of highlights and other shit from my streams, or even like funny stuff or cameos or disturbing shit I said, or even to paint me in a bad light, to create controversy, that is all fine. Knock yourself out. I just hope I don't say too many fucked up things that can be stitched together to make me look like a terrible person to, you know, lose people or whatever. But I think I'll be pretty smart about that. So that's an opportunity for anyone that wants to head down that avenue. I'm pretty light on copyright and fair use and all that. If people want to, you know, take Mokana Man videos and just mirror it on other services, that's cool. Mokana Man stuff I don't really want to see get monetized on other platforms, unless, you know, you do the right thing with full credit and whatnot. But this stuff, the streaming, don't really care because it's not my best work. It's just live work. It's interacting. It's getting to know you guys, talking and shit. So that's done. Nub 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 nub. Blah da 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 nub nub. Fucking nubs. Fucking nubs everywhere. Fucking goddamn nubs. And there's actually a flash line from the nub. Need to clean that up nicely. So there's just some fine detail I was sanding around, so it's a bit quiet then, but that's all good. Fucking AVG's come back. Fuck off, AVG. I must have been streaming this time for a very long time. 11 o'clock. Started somewhere between 9 and 10 or something, I don't know. Maybe I've reached 2 hours. It'd be cool if I've done that. Very cool. That means I would have done 2, 3, 4.5 hours of streaming. It's the minimum amount of streaming one needs to do to reach full time in one day. You need to do 6 days a week or some shit, which is never gonna fucking happen. It's just too much to do in one day. And those, you know, people think like, oh shit, I'm not streaming, oh shit, I'm not making money. I cannot see myself doing that. That's just too much work. That's fucking, There we go. Knob already moved. Nip, 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 nip. Nip, 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 nip. Smoke weed every day. Getting so close to my goal of today. Didn't expect I'd actually get this far on this project one session. Though I didn't expect that I'd have this much ease and whatnot, because the more I work on it, the more idea that I've got for a time frame put together. And excluding painting, I think the building part won't take too long. A couple more days like this, Should be up on skewers for painting. So probably less than a month with other shit in between. And if I make it first priority, even quicker. Don't want to finish Fumina. I've got a third Fumina kit to finish. And that's all heavy modifying and whatnot. Once that done, I've got like a box of half-finished kits to get through. And some resin in between. Once that's all done, we can just keep going heavy on resin. Resin, 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 resin. Resin, resin, resin. A little bit of gunpla. Need to throw some gunpla in. There we go. Some buff. All dank, man. All dank. I suppose from how energetic I was in the first stream to now, how you can see there's a big difference in energy level. It's probably quite hilarious, or it's just not interesting whatsoever. I hope it's not interesting. Love soft resin. So that was only one nub. And I wonder if I can clean. There's a little section here. It's pretty solid. It's going to be painted black anyway. I don't think that will be noticeable at all. With the cop on, that's probably important for the cops, so I better be careful. And the buff. This hand's pretty cool. The hand's meant to support the katana. And the katana does sort of fit. Might need to be pinned in the hand or something. Maybe there's a certain place that's meant to be held or something. Who knows? Find out later. That's not important now. So, fuck. It's going to be cool when this is done. I have to get some gloss black and gloss it further, and that will come out nicely. So, I've got some SMS black, SMS Australian lacquer paint. Spray that on, nice and glossy. A few coats of gloss. Nice and wet coats. That would be pretty sick. Really glad I'm not using music. That could fuck me. Okay, that's one hand done. Hand number 2. The end is all. I should use a saw. Now with saws, wet the blades, dip the resin, saw it, and just regularly dip the resin piece. That's how you saw in resin. Not to get dust everywhere. There is an important last step which I'll demonstrate. Then you have to saw a bit and it snaps off. Dry the saw when you're done. It will rust. This thing's got spot rust, but it's because it's very, very old. You need to respect your tools. Look after them. They will last you a long time. This is a shitty Games Workshop saw from Citadel. I bought in the early 2000s. I've even cut metal with it. Still serves me strong today. So, sand the top. All nice and flush and flat, because there's just ragged plastic everywhere. Then we just work our way down of the many different layers of sandpaper, because people are saying, oh, it's a paint to sands, different grits. You've got all the sandpaper next to you, and you just move one from one from one from one. It's easy. Very, very easy. Just don't know why there's anything to complain about. And I hope people sitting there watching me, seeing my thought process, my work process, my interest, inspire them, give them some ideas, give them a chance to try new things out, and hopefully develop their own stuff, start doing their own teaching, their own tutorials, teach their own shit, and yeah. Look, I'm at a wit's end. I think I'm done. Thank you very much. I'll catch you guys later. I'm going to take a photo real soon and call that done. And probably do this again next week. Catch you later.